and graph. And how do we do that? Well, give me a second while I try to, okay, here we go. So how do we graph? First, we have to look for the intercepts, which we have them right here, x and x. So we have a point right here and another point right here. Okay, our graph is going to definitely go through these 2 points because these are my intercepts, all right? Now, next, we're going to use the asymptotes. Right? So we have a vertical asymptote in x is equal to 0. In other words, let's wait, wrong page. There we go. So we have a vertical asymptote right here. Right? So no point will our graph touch the y-axis. That's why we said that we have no y-intercept. Now, finally, we also have, besides our vertical asymptote, we have a slant asymptote where y is equal to x. Now, that is something like this. Okay, so this is y equal to x, which is our slant asymptote. Hopefully you can see it. It's kind of dim, but hopefully you can see it. And now we have these 2 points. So now all that's left is to find the rest of the points. Now remember that thing that I said from the book that we were going to use again? Well, now we're using it. Let's see if I can find it again. All right, here we go. So we have to, wait, no, it's not that one. It's this one, yeah. So we have to plot the points between and beyond the x-intercept and the vertical asymptote. All right, so we have here our x-intercepts, and even though we don't have a vertical asymptote, we still have a slant asymptote. All right, well, actually, no, we do have one. We have right here. So let's take points from here and then from here and see where they land. In other words, we're going to use this same thing, una tablita de valores. So let's see, x, y. So we already know that when x is -1, y is 0. So let's take a shorter number, a smaller number, let's say -3. Then we'll take, here we go. So we'll take -3, then we'll take -2. Then we already know where it is that there's no 0, so there's no point in writing 0. We already know -1, there's no point in writing -1. We already know where it is in 1, no point in writing 1, so we're going to jump all the way up to 2, and then 3. So these are the things that I'm going to be evaluating. Remembering that our function, f of x, is equal to x squared minus 1 divided by 1. And that's it. We just, not 1, x. We just substitute. So f of -3 is equal to -3 squared minus 1 divided by -3. F of -3 must be equal to 9 minus 1 divided by -3. And f -3 is equal to 8 -3. So we have our first point, which we can change it to a decimal. It would be, let's see if I know this, 2.66 if I'm not mistaken, negative of course. Then for -2 we do the exact same thing. So f of -2 is equal to x squared minus 1 divided by x. And I'm going to go really quick through this because I don't want this video to be way too long, which it kind of already is. So f of -2 would be, that's a horrible 2, 3 halves, -3 halves, which would be around -1.5. Then for positive, it's the exact same thing except for positive, right? So if it's -2, well, this would be positive. If it's positive 2, it's still going to be positive. So it's going to be all the same except for the denominator, which is going to be positive. So we have positive 1.5. And then the exact same thing for 3. It's 9 minus 1 divided by 3, which would be 8/3 or around positive 2.66. In other words, these are my coordinates. All right, so we have, let's write them down right here, just so it's easy. We have -3, 2.66, -2.66. We have -2, -1.5. We have +2, +1.5. And then we have +3, +2.66. And how do we graph that? Well, when x is -3, y is, we have already said, 2.66. So x -3, y we go 1, 2, and almost all the way to 3, so around here. So it would be here. Then we do it again for 2, -2, -1.5, so this would be -2, 1, -1.5. And then for x, we go -2, +2, 1.5, so +2, +1.5, so it would be somewhere around here. And then +3, positive 2.66, which would be somewhere around here, not in 3, a little bit lower. All right, let's see, are we missing something? And then we just make the graph. All right, let's see, let's compare it in our Desmos calculator to see how well we did. All right, let's, whoops. It would be y is equal to x squared minus 1. And then all of that divided by x, by x. And whoops, there's some mistake here with the parentheses. All right, here we go. So here we have our slant asymptote where x, let's write that, y is equal to x. That black line is our slant asymptotes, and we have already plotted these points right here. We plotted these points right here, and we have yet to plot these ones. But here's the kind of difficult part. We can further plot the points, of course, but we also know that these are asymptotes. So our points must always go closer and closer and closer. And that's a horrible, horrible line, but you get the point. And then likewise, it must also get closer and closer and closer to our vertical asymptote. Right? So it would be something like this. Right? So it's kind of ugly, but well, you know me, I'm not a big artist. So this should be closer to what you should have. Sorry for the really long video. I hope this helps, and I will send you the work soon enough. Take care.